Hey, fourth graders, I'm going to work through your math boxes with you. Box 1, you got to do some division. So I'm going to do a little bit over here and a little bit on the whiteboard, so hopefully you'll be able to see both. You may not be able to see me at all times, but at least you should be able to see the work. So the first thing that you needed to do is 246 divided by 6. And if we do that, 246 divided by 6, the first thing that I would think is, how many 6's can go into 24? Rather than trying to think like, can I do 10, can I do 20? I know that I can count by 6's and get somewhere close to 24 or up to 24. And I can do 4 6's. 6 times 4 is 24, and then I put a 0 and a 0. 6 times 40 is 240. Now when I subtract, 6 minus 0 is 6, 4 minus 4 is 0, 2 minus 2 is 0. How many 6's can go into 6? 1. Right, 0. So your answer for this one should have been 41. Now looking at the other one, it's 369 divided by 9. So I'm going to do that one. I'm going to slide over here. I'm going to block this answer for just a second. And I'm going to do it right here. 369 divided by 9. And what I'm going to think here is, how many nines can go into 36? We're just working with the 36. And the answer there again is 4. 9 times 4 is 36. Now because this place value is empty, I put a 0, and I put a 0 there. If I put a 0 in here, I got to put one out there, and I subtract. 9 minus 0 is 9. How many 9's can go into 9? 1. Multiply your outsides to get your inside. So in other words, partial quotient times divisor gets you what's in here, gets you your quotient. 9 minus 9 is 0. And the answer here is also 41. So the answer for this one, did it take 41, 41? Did it take more boxes? Well, that's false. I'm going to move this up. My apologies, fourth graders. So if I get all these in here, more boxes for the eyeglasses. This was eyeglasses, this was sunglasses. No, it didn't take more. That's false. More for the sunglasses than the eyeglasses, also false. The same number, that's true, and that's false. We could tell how many boxes were needed. We just needed to divide. All right, so those were your answers for there. Taking a look at this one. This is just a fraction addition problem. So we have 5 twelfths plus 6 twelfths plus 8 twelfths. And that's going to equal, now the first step you could just simply add them. 6 and 8 is, well, we know our denominator is going to be 12, so let's do that first. So that's the easiest. 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 plus 5 is 19. So you end up with 19 twelfths. But as I mentioned yesterday on the video that I posted, you can't leave this as 19 twelfths. I mean, you could, but it's not the best answer. So we're going to go to 19 divided by 12. And we're thinking, how many 12s can go into 19? The answer is 1. 12 times 1 is 12. When I subtract, 9 minus 2 is 7, 1 minus 1 is 0. When your remainder is smaller than your divisor, you're done. So your answer here would have been 1 and 7 twelfths. So another way to think of that is, you have 12 twelfths plus 7 twelfths, and this 12 twelfths is the same as the 1. So 1 and 7 twelfths. 1 and 7 twelfths buckets. On problem 3, I just asked you to solve one of them, but being that I asked that, people could have solved both, so I'm going to solve both. Also, if you ever are bored or you want to do more, you can. I'm not telling you you have to, but you can always do more. All right, I'm going to make actually these just a smidge bigger because think that's going to help us be able to see them better. 485 divided by 5. 5 can't go into 4, so I have to think about the 48. And again, you might have different steps than me. I know I can't do 10 because 5 times 10 is 50, and that's bigger than 48. But what that does tell me is that I could do 9, because 5 times 9 is 45, that is 0, and subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5, 8 minus 5 is 3. Hey, we're down to 35 now. Now the question becomes 35 divided by 5. How many 5s can go into 35? 7. 5 times 7 is 35, and subtract. You get a 0. So this one, your answer, you should have gotten 97. Going over to do this side, I'm looking at how many 6s can go. It can't go into 2, so I'm going to look at the 22. The first 2 right here. Just those 2. And when I do that, I know that 6 times 2 is 12. I know 6 times 3 is 18. I want to get as, if I can, I want to get as close as I can without going over. 6 times 3 is 18. Put my 0 there, put my 0 there. 6 times 3 was 18. 6 times 30 is 180. 2 minus 0, 2. Can't do that. This has got to become a 1. And this becomes 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. 1 minus 1 is 0. We're down to 42. Okay. You may not have known this, so yours might have been more steps. You might have done a 5 here. I'll just do that because maybe that's what you did. 6 times 5 is 30. And subtract 2 minus 0 is 2. 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay? How many 6s go into 12? 2. 6 times 2 is 12, and subtract. So over here your answer was 37. Alright, this one I asked you to do B. Again, this is one of those situations where I'm only asking you to do B. If you're ever bored or you think that you need more practice, A is also available. What I assign to you is what I expect you to do. I'm never going to tell you you can't do more, but you don't have to. Alright, so again, when we do partial products, we got to realize that each of these numbers is actually made up of 2. So this is made up, 76 is made up of 70 and 6. And 95 is made up of 90 and 5. And we have to take each of these numbers and multiply it by both of these numbers. So when we start, we're doing 70 times 90. So if you look, there's a 0 from the 70, there's a 0 from the 90. 70 times 90, that would be 2 zeros. I'm going to put those down right away because now I can think of it as 7 times 9. And when we do that, we're going to leave a blank right here, and we're going to actually pretend like this is a 2-digit number, and we're going to do the 10 first. So think about what's 1 less than 7, and that goes right here. 1 less than 7 is 6. The number that goes in here is 6 plus something equals 9. What plus 6 equals 9? That's 3. So 60 or 70 times 90 is 6,300. So we take this times 90, now we got to take 70 times 5. You notice there's 1 0. Then all I have to do is solve 7 times 5, which is 35. I'm done with 70. I've used it twice. 70 times 90, 70 times 5. I used it twice. Now I'm going to do 6 times 90 and 6 times 5. First one I'm going to do is 6 times 90. I have 1 0 from the 90. I'm doing 6 times 9. Again, same type of process. We're going to leave a space and we're thinking of this as a 2-digit number. We're going to do the 10s first, then the 1s. I know it's the hundreds and tens place, but this is kind of the easiest way to think about it. Don't think about the 9. What's 1 less than 6? 5. 5 plus what is 9? 5 plus 4 is 9. So 6 times 9 is 54. 6 times 90 is 540. We've used the 90 twice. We're done with it. We did 70 times 90, and we did 6 times 90, so we're done with it. The last problem then is 6 times 5, which is 30. You add those up. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 5 and 4 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. Bring that up here. Okay? 3, 6, 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 1 more is 12, and 6 plus 7 is 7. 7,220. Alright, and explaining, number 5 is explaining how you used equations to help you solve problem 2. I'm going to make it smaller so that it fits on here. Still too big, let's make one smaller. Alright, so basically what you're doing here is, now I got to remember the numbers, 5, 6, and 8. I would have put something like the equation was 5 twelfths plus 6 twelfths plus 8 twelfths. I knew my denominator would be 12. Then I added 5 plus 6 plus 8 to get my numerator. I got 5 and 6, 11, 19 twelfths. Got the answer there for a second. Then I divided 19 divided by 12 to make my mixed number. There shouldn't be a period there, that's just a mix-up. Part of my D. Oh, still messing up. There we go, good enough. 1 and 7 twelfths. Or something like that. You can check yours versus that. Alright, we'll have a new lesson up for you soon.